There are moments in life when it feels like the world has left you behind, like you are walking through an endless tunnel alone, surrounded by silence. In those moments, it's easy to believe that no one understands you, that no one sees the struggles that weigh on your heart. But the truth is, feeling alone is something everyone experiences at some point. It does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are failing. It simply means you are human. The key is not to wait for someone else to notice you, to rescue you, or to fix your situation. Real strength begins the moment you look inward and realize that you already have the power to navigate your path. Feeling alone can become a moment of clarity, a time when you discover who you truly are, what you are capable of, and how resilient your spirit can be. Even when the world seems distant, connection is always possible, first with yourself and then with others. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, quietly teaches you that you are stronger than your fears, braver than your doubts, and more capable than you ever imagined. Remember, loneliness is a feeling, not a permanent state. It is temporary, and it can be transformed into courage, insight, and motivation. Every small step you take toward understanding yourself, caring for your mental and emotional well-being, and reaching out for support is a victory. This speech is not about ignoring your pain or pretending the struggle doesn't exist. It's about recognizing it, embracing it, and using it to propel yourself forward. You are not invisible. You are not insignificant. And most importantly, you are never truly alone when you begin to trust your inner strength and embrace the journey with hope and perseverance. Feeling alone is one of the most common experiences humans face, yet it is often the hardest to talk about. At some point in life, everyone feels isolated, unseen, or misunderstood. It doesn't matter how many people surround you, how busy your schedule is, or how many messages fill your phone. Loneliness is not about physical space or the number of people near you. It is about the gap between who you are inside and who you feel the world sees. Feeling alone is not a weakness, and it is not a punishment. It is a signal, a moment in life where you are being invited to reconnect. Not with someone else, but with yourself. Many people spend so much energy looking outward for validation, connection, or approval that they forget the most important relationship they will ever have is the one with themselves. Your sense of worth, your ability to cope with life, and your capacity to find comfort and hope all begin within. The moment you realize that connection starts inside, everything shifts. Suddenly, feeling alone becomes less of a burden and more of an opportunity to strengthen the foundation of your own resilience and confidence. When you are feeling isolated, it is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that something is wrong with you, that others are thriving while you are left behind. Your mind exaggerates the distance between you and the people you admire or those you think are succeeding. It makes you feel smaller, unworthy, or invisible. But the truth is, everyone feels like this at some point. Everyone wrestles with uncertainty, fear, and moments of doubt. The difference between those who thrive and those who remain stuck is not the absence of loneliness, it is the way they respond to it. People who grow through their moments of isolation understand that the feeling itself is temporary. They learn that the sensation of being alone is not the opposite of connection. It is a signal that they need to turn inward, reflect, and strengthen their inner world. Your solitude can be the space where you discover your values, your priorities, and your inner voice. The voice that doesn't rely on external approval or constant reassurance. Many people think that connecting with yourself means sitting silently and waiting for inspiration or motivation to appear. It is not that passive. True connection requires conscious attention and active engagement with your own mind and emotions. It begins with noticing your thoughts without judgment, recognizing your feelings without trying to suppress them, and listening to the desires and fears that exist beneath the surface. When you allow yourself to observe your inner world honestly, without distraction or avoidance, you start to understand patterns in your behavior, recurring challenges, and areas where you can grow. That self-awareness is the first step toward creating a sense of connection that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. One of the most powerful tools for connecting with yourself is reflection. Taking even a few minutes each day to reflect on your experiences, your reactions, and your emotions can transform how you feel about being alone. It is in these moments that you begin to recognize your own strength. You realize that you have survived difficult days before, that you have faced fear and uncertainty, and that you have emerged stronger each time. Reflection allows you to separate your identity from temporary feelings of isolation. It reminds you that loneliness is a feeling, not a definition of who you are. Journaling, meditation, and mindfulness practices are practical ways to deepen this connection. Writing down your thoughts helps clarify your emotions, making them easier to understand and address. Meditation teaches you to observe the ebb and flow of your thoughts without being controlled by them. Mindfulness anchors you to the present moment, reminding you that solitude does not have to feel heavy or threatening. When you practice these activities consistently, you train your mind to be comfortable in its own company. You learn to respond to feelings of isolation with curiosity and care rather than fear or frustration. Another important aspect of connecting with yourself is nurturing your passions and interests. Many people feel lonely because they have lost touch with the activities that bring them joy and fulfillment. Rediscovering what excites you, challenges you, and makes you feel alive can dramatically shift your experience of being alone. When you dedicate time to creating, learning, exploring, or even simply enjoying small pleasures, you send a powerful message to your own mind that you are worth attention, care, and respect. By engaging with your inner world in meaningful ways, you begin to cultivate a sense of companionship that does not depend on others. It is also crucial to understand that connection with yourself is not about isolating from others indefinitely. Building a strong inner foundation allows you to engage with the world more confidently and authentically. When you are grounded in self-awareness, you can form healthier relationships, communicate more clearly, and set boundaries that protect your energy. People who have a solid inner connection are not needy or desperate for attention. They attract genuine connections naturally because they operate from a place of completeness rather than seeking completion. You learn that being alone sometimes is not a punishment but a preparation. It is a period of growth, clarity, and self-discovery that equips you to engage with life fully when the time is right. It is natural to crave validation, reassurance, or companionship from others, but relying solely on external sources for your sense of worth is risky. The people around you may change, misunderstand you, or fail to show up the way you hope. When your inner connection is strong, these fluctuations affect you less. You are no longer dependent on someone else's attention to feel whole. Instead, your sense of self remains steady, resilient, and capable of weathering uncertainty. This is the essence of independence and emotional strength. It begins within. Feeling alone can also be a call to embrace your courage. Being alone forces you to confront uncomfortable thoughts and emotions, to face questions about your purpose, your goals, and your identity. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and patience. These qualities are exactly what build resilience. The challenges of isolation become opportunities to practice self-compassion, to forgive yourself for past mistakes, and to take responsibility for your own growth. You realize that you are capable of more than you imagined. You can handle uncertainty. You can navigate discomfort. You can learn to sit with yourself without fear or avoidance. Even in moments of intense loneliness, it is important to remember that connection with yourself is not a destination. It is a practice. It requires daily attention, gentle curiosity, and ongoing effort. Small acts of self-care, self-reflection, and mindful engagement accumulate over time, creating a strong inner presence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. The more you practice, the more your inner world becomes a source of comfort, guidance, and stability. You begin to carry yourself with quiet confidence, knowing that being alone is not the absence of life. It is a space where life begins to align within you. Over time, this inner connection transforms your perspective. Moments of solitude no longer feel empty or threatening, they feel like opportunities for growth, understanding, and renewal. You start to see that feeling alone is not a reflection of your inadequacy, but a natural part of the human experience that invites you to discover your strength, courage, and resilience. This understanding becomes the foundation for hope, motivation, and meaningful action in every area of life, allowing you to face challenges with clarity, confidence, and a renewed sense of purpose. Life will never wait for you to feel ready, and it will never deliver growth on a silver platter. Every challenge, every obstacle, every moment of discomfort is an invitation to rise, to test your limits, and to discover the strength that already exists inside you. It is natural to want to avoid pain, difficulty, or conflict. It is natural to wish that the path was smoother, easier, more predictable. But strength is not born in comfort. Strength is born in struggle, in the moments when you push forward despite fear, exhaustion, or uncertainty. Those moments reveal your capacity for resilience, your ability to adapt, and your hidden courage. When you confront challenges rather than avoid them, you learn lessons that no textbook, no mentor, and no external advice could ever teach you. Challenges refine your character. They force you to evaluate your priorities, confront your weaknesses, and build skills you never knew you had. Avoiding difficulty might feel safe in the short term, but it guarantees stagnation. It leaves you dependent on circumstances and approval, waiting for others to create opportunities or provide guidance. Facing challenges, however, builds autonomy, confidence, and self-reliance. It teaches you that even when the odds are stacked against you, even when the outcome is uncertain, you are capable of navigating life with clarity and courage. Every obstacle you face is a mirror reflecting your potential, showing you that limitations are often illusions you have accepted, rather than truths you must obey. Life is not about waiting for perfect conditions. It is about finding courage in imperfection, learning in failure, and discovering that the person you become while fighting is far stronger than the person you were before. Those who consistently face challenges do not merely survive, they transform. They step into situations that scare them, they embrace uncertainty, and they refuse to let fear dictate their path. In that journey, strength becomes a habit, a state of mind, and a way of living that empowers every decision, every relationship, and every pursuit, creating a life built not on avoidance but on intentional courage and relentless persistence. Change is rarely dramatic. Transformation is rarely instantaneous. Most people underestimate the power of small, consistent actions because they appear insignificant in isolation. Yet it is precisely these small steps that determine the trajectory of your life. Each action, no matter how minor it seems, is an investment in your future self. Waking up a little earlier, completing a task you have been postponing, choosing patience over frustration, taking care of your body, reflecting on your emotions, these are the bricks that build resilience, confidence, and self-respect. Small actions are not noticed immediately by the world, and that is what makes them so powerful. They do not rely on applause or recognition. They rely only on your commitment and consistency. Every time you follow through with your intentions, you strengthen your sense of self-trust. You begin to realize that you can depend on yourself. That realization alone is a form of empowerment that no external validation can replicate. Confidence is not created in moments of grand achievement. It is cultivated in the quiet, repeated moments of discipline, honesty, and focus. Every time you choose to act instead of procrastinate, to speak your truth instead of hiding it, to care for yourself instead of prioritizing everyone else, you reinforce your inner authority. Over time, these small habits compound. Your mind begins to trust your decisions, your body responds with energy and endurance, and your spirit gains a quiet certainty. Life will continue to challenge you, but the accumulation of small victories prepares you to meet those challenges with calm, clarity, and courage. Small daily actions are the secret to building resilience that is unshakable, because it is rooted in your own consistent behavior, rather than in the approval or expectations of others. Every day becomes an opportunity to reinforce your inner strength, to lay another brick in the foundation of a confident, empowered self that can withstand uncertainty, criticism, and adversity without crumbling, creating a momentum that carries you forward even when the world is unsteady. Many people believe that seeking help is a sign of weakness, but the opposite is true. It takes courage to acknowledge that you cannot do everything alone, that even the strongest individuals need support at times, and that vulnerability is not something to hide but something to embrace. Reaching out is not surrender, it is strategy. It is a conscious choice to strengthen yourself rather than allowing pride or fear to keep you stagnant. Asking for help demonstrates awareness, humility, and intelligence. It shows that you understand your limitations and are willing to take the steps necessary to grow and succeed. The people who achieve the greatest personal strength are often those who have learned to accept guidance, mentorship, or support when it is offered. They know that independence does not mean isolation. They recognize that connecting with others in meaningful ways can accelerate growth, provide clarity, and help navigate obstacles more efficiently. Help can take many forms. It can be a listening ear, shared wisdom, encouragement, or even practical assistance in a difficult situation. Whatever the form, it is a tool for empowerment, not dependency. Courage is required because asking for help requires you to lower your guard, to be honest about your needs, and to risk rejection or judgment. Yet in doing so, you reinforce your inner resilience. You learn that seeking connection is part of human strength, not a flaw. By embracing the courage to reach out, you expand your network of support, enhance your understanding, and model a powerful truth. Strength does not come from isolation alone, but from the balance of self-reliance and thoughtful engagement with others. Asking for help becomes an act of wisdom, a strategy for navigating life's complexities, and a demonstration of self-respect, because you are valuing the resources available to you rather than pretending you can handle everything on your own. Hope is not a passive feeling, it is an active choice to believe that tomorrow can be better than today, even when circumstances are difficult. Perseverance is the action that carries that hope forward. When you are facing adversity, the combination of hope and perseverance becomes a force capable of moving mountains. Life is rarely linear, and progress often comes in small, uneven steps. Moments of doubt, fear, or exhaustion are inevitable, yet these are the very moments that test the strength of your resolve. Those who endure do not do so because life has treated them fairly. They do so because they choose to move forward despite setbacks, obstacles, and uncertainty. Hope allows you to see beyond the immediate discomfort, to envision possibilities that are not yet visible, and to believe in your capacity to navigate the challenges ahead. Perseverance turns that belief into action. It is the repeated commitment to keep showing up, to continue working toward your goals, to continue nurturing your growth, even when results are not immediate. Together, hope and perseverance cultivate resilience. They help you withstand emotional turbulence, maintain clarity of purpose, and reinforce the inner strength you have been developing. Life may be unpredictable, and circumstances may feel overwhelming, but hope provides direction and perseverance provides momentum. This combination ensures that even when the path is unclear, even when obstacles seem insurmountable, you remain capable of moving forward. Each step taken in alignment with hope and perseverance reinforces your self-trust, your confidence, and your capacity to navigate challenges.